Okay. The November meeting of the Board of Water Commissioners is hereby called to order. Reading of the minutes of the previous meeting. Any proposed changes? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll move that we accept the minutes.
Okay, we have a second. Those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We'll pass over the bills and accounts a little later after they're audited. Cooper Lake improvements.
All right. We have begun to refill. We are at, as of this afternoon, we're about 1097, so about a foot up from construction elevation. At this point, our plan is to bring
Okay, you can take over if you want.
Our plan is to continue filling, and we are basically full. The maximum we're going to do is 2 feet in a week, but we're realistically never going to get that anyway. There's not enough water to take that kind of elevation increase, but the only restriction we have now is we're not ready to spill over in the spillway. So I am shooting for 1105, which is 0.6 below maximum capacity. We opened up a week ago yesterday, I want to say, and we got a foot in that time. So it will slow as we go because there's more water as we increase, but we got a foot in a week, essentially.
Okay.
I mean, the stream is definitely slower than it was 2 months ago. So that's the big news up there. In terms of the work, that's getting there. We're looking to do the automated startup for the water service the first week of December. And that's really the last big hurdle. Everyday construction, hopefully they're planning, I think, being out of there in the next 2 weeks in terms of having the majority of the laborers on site. The dam itself is basically built. They were finishing up the crest. Derek was up there this morning and he said, looked like they probably finished the crest up sometime today. They're building the roads, they're grading. They will come back in the spring to do some seeding and stuff like that. Touch up some concrete because it's starting to get cold up there. So they want to do the concrete with the weather.
What type of concrete work has to be done?
Just some touch up on the finishing touch ups. But yeah, so we're getting there. The first week of December, hopefully we'll have the automated system up and running. And then that's kind of where we're at.
So the automated system is
SCADA, being able to turn just flows from the plant anywhere, really, but most of the plant would do that. So we're working on that. It's our next big step. 2 weeks ago now, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We did have an issue. So our contractor showed up 2 weeks ago tomorrow to begin installing a section of fence at the west dike near the dam. It's a section of pipe maybe from here to the wall over there outside the boardroom. And we got about 30 phone calls that day asking why we were fencing in the entire reservoir. Prison style fence, all this other stuff. Thursday night, some individuals went out there and tore some of the fence posts out of the ground. So Friday morning, Woodstock PD was there, police reports, all that. But the fence has now been fully installed. So that piece is done.
Who asked why the fence was being put up?
It was the individuals who like walk there on the road and they like to walk out on the dam. You know, there's signs every 10 feet that say public water supply, no trespassing, it's not a lake, it's a reservoir.
Yeah.
So I was starting to refer, reservoir number 3 is what it is. This is for security. It's a basic security fence. It's not a prison style fence. It's just this whole project was to increase safety and security for a high end.
they were taking their walkway away from them.
But yeah, essentially people were upset about that. So that was the big news from 2 weeks ago.
So how long has the full fence been up now for?
They finished that Friday, or no, they were supposed to finish that Friday, but they finished the following Monday.
Isn't necessarily the water system in Philly, like,
We have signs up there that state it's a federal offense per whatever code that is. Nobody had seen anything. We're in the process of getting our permanent cameras installed. So. So that was that. I do have a couple of contractual things that might want to go to exec. If I don't want to do that now or come back to it after exec or.
In exec, yeah, okay, we'll do it later, I guess. That's it with Cooper then, other than executive session stuff.
Yes.
Valve replacement.
Other than so I included the change order from Trinity in the board packet. So we had talked about last month, $5,500 for the T that was required to remove the old valve. And then I got the number for basically what this other $58,000 is pavement restoration. So Trinity was required to restore pavement to the thickness of wherever they put their holes down. And the pavement was quite thick in pretty much every hole they had to dig. So they're required to put that amount of pavement for the contract. So this is the excess of what was anticipated to be there versus what was actually there when they dug the holes.
That was part of the con.
So
open-ended.
So the engineer like says, I think they picked like 6 inches or 5 inches, whatever it was, and do a bid price to restore the pavement to at least 6 or whatever is there if it's more. And most of the holes they dug, it was someplace 8, 9 inches, and they had to restore it back to that depth.
So that wasn't unexpected.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
question while you're talking about this invoice in here from Mullins and Sons for pavement for the boulevard for like $2,100.
Yeah, so that was. So we had it on. It was a large hole, which is beyond our capabilities to do. So we had to hire Mullins to pay for it.
So they do paving also.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
I guess my question about the pavement thing is like, why is that on our? It was like, it was an expected change order.
Well, there's an assumption made as to how thick the pavement's gonna be, and it was thicker than that. So basically it's a unit price, they have to buy the asphalt. So they're buying far more than they had bid when they did the bid, because they bid it with, I think it was 6 inches worth of asphalt for each hole. And most of the holes had thicker asphalt that had to be restored.
wouldn't
So
they
the
just
unit-
put some
the unit-
crushed stone in there to make the difference and then put the.
Contracts that has to be restored to whatever is there. So if the rest of the road has 6 inches, they have to do 6 inches.
If not, those areas tend to settle and then you end up getting those depressions and you're like, wait, why am I hitting this pothole every day? But it ends up being from the excavation.
So you remember the sinkhole, Jim?
Yeah, I remember the single very well. I just know much of that, not black out, put some stone in and put it on top.
So my favorite question then is,
That's
where is this extra 58?
yes,
$1,000, 58?
But so this is the WIA money.
Hmm?
So it would come out of the WIA loans from EFC / grant. So that was a $900,000 grant with a $600,000
So it ends up
revolving fund loan.
becoming part of the
Go
loan,
towards that, yeah. They'll come out of there.
because we've already exceeded probably the grant portion of, or is it
Well,
a percentage?
It goes 50% grant, all the loan, so they break it down. It doesn't do all grant first. It's not that way.
But the grant and loan breakdown is 50/50?
No, it's $900,000 grant, $600,000.
Spectrum's cheaper than my house, I guess. How's that possible? Need a special deal?
And where are we with that then, with that loan grant, project? You have any idea in regards to,
There's still some money left, but we also have the CDM outstanding because we're doing SCADA stuff as well. So we'll cover the SCADA and the program for the SCADA and SCADA installation.
I mean, we won't exceed that.
No, we're not gonna exceed the 1.5
5 or whatever.
We're not over the 1.5.
So if we didn't, I mean, if we don't approve the change order, do they just eat it or?
I assume you
Probably
come at us with an attorney, but
I assume they would come after us, right?
Have a claim then against the water department. No, if the design engineer said it's based on 6 inches, you bid.
On the bid, okay, the
And
bid
then,
was,
6 inches.
they did a
10.
unit price based on an
Yes.
assumed depth of
Right.
pavement. And it'd have to be more than that.
Right.
We don't go out and dig all the
Actually,
test holes, so the engineer has to
Yeah.
say, this is what the average asphalt's expected to be. Maybe for our next project, we need to assume more.
You know, do the test for, it's, you know.
I mean, yeah, you can just drill an inch hole to see how,
I think it really is,
yeah, as opposed to
Yeah.
digging up.
assuming 6 inches.
It's also hard to have them
But you're gonna have to dig a hole
dig the
anyway.
same
Irregardless.
hole that they thought they were gonna dig. 'Cause
I know,
some of
that's what they kept doing.
They had to-
Everybody kept.
nobody.
Yeah,
2 inches, 2
we
inches.
checked gas mains
Just
and
it.
we found fiber optic duct tanks down here on Broadway that nobody marks out, because they're just there, but you can't really dig
So
through a
the
duct
curves
tank.
only
It's
have an
solid.
inch
So we
reveal.
had to strip the hole over, turn the valve around, so
Yeah, now that's down to an inch.
that will end up being 4 or 5 feet wider than an extension. Because of the sound in the ground.
Okay, so we're looking for
Yes.
a motion for this change order. And that's a change order for both of them or just the one?
It's one change order
For 63, 551?
Yeah, I just broke it down so you saw
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I'll make the motion for the change order to be accepted in the amount of $63,551.
I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Elected, he can afford this.
Yeah,
Prove everything.
those in favor? Opposed? Carried. So that project's all done now with all,
The valve replacement will be done, yes.
So you'd use that, you'd be open to using them again. That was the first time they've done what course.
The field crew is very good, yes. Say that.
you're not saying much about the management, administrative.
Yeah, field crew is very, very, very good with it.
Okay, jumping down to inspection.
The union shop. Aaron,
Come on, Jim. What we on?
Inspection tour.
I just left that on there. I know we had talked about it.
Well, we cut
We're
your,
waiting for some of the work we're getting there.
I mean, is there any, since the dam is basically all done, should we set a time before it gets like snowing to go up and take a look
I can do
or?
tomorrow.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, up there, yeah, true.
Um,
I mean, and
but
what,
I mean, so
you want to push this off until next
for
spring?
everyday work, I think they're expecting, last I knew, to be out of there after Thanksgiving. So I don't know, I know some of you work during the day, so it might have to be a Saturday, but. And then in terms of the water system being started up, once that's done, the project is, I don't want to say over, but substantially over most likely, so if we wanna. Really up to the board, I mean.
Well, the mayor suggested a ribbon cutting or some type of,
It would be nice.
Ceremony,
I agree.
but-
I think that, you know, the board spent $20 million on a project. We should probably, you know, at least give the official, it's done. So whether that happens in November or if that happens in spring, once they've planted grass and trees.
I
it's
I
up
would
to you
assume
guys.
we want.
Knowing,
System is up and running before we do a.
Yeah.
So we have to just come back and do
The
something.
rates are gonna go up, right?
well, yeah, it would be nice.
To give them a little heads up that this is
Saying-
where your money went, and this is why the rates.
Yeah, as opposed to waiting for the spring.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
We gotta figure out how to fix this in the dam, right?
yeah, keep looking into that. I'll get back to you.
Go out and vote.
Shoot a cannon.
That's,
Can't fix it in fence.
We can do it again.
Yeah, we can talk about that, Michelle.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I mean, in terms of like official projects over, I don't know if we want to do that before the water system is up and running. We look at the second week of December, if everything stays on schedule.
Feel like you're-
Well, technically, it's running other than SCADA. I mean,
Well, it's the automated meters. I mean, it's really it's up to everybody here.
but the public's not gonna see. I mean, what the ribbon cutting would do is they would see physically what's there. I don't know.
We'll probably just come in, like, we'll have something I would propose that we would have something at the site where as many of us can go, can get there, we'll all have. Our communication person come and take pictures of what we want to put out. I don't know if we'd want to invite, you know, outside of maybe common council members and some of our stakeholders, Woodstock or whatever. We probably wouldn't want to invite the public.
No, I mean, I
No.
wouldn't think that either.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the public off.
Yeah. We put electrified fence signs up.
The fence contractor proposed the battery. I said, let's not do that. But,
So you,
so I mean, we can,
so you want to try to set something up
based on.
after Thanksgiving?
Based on the size of the site, I would suggest we don't do it while Fail is still there.
Okay,
There's not room for much out there when Fail is there with excavators and trucks. So if they still plan on leaving the week of Thanksgiving, then after that would probably be best. But if we did it while they were there, it would not be convenient for them or
Okay.
anything else to really happen. Because it's a very small site at this point.
So they won't be off by our next meeting. They won't be out.
well, maybe.
Other than like some of the people required to do the startup, most of the laborers and the equipment will probably be gone by the next meeting.
So maybe next meeting we can set a date, once we know they're. totally
That's mid-December, so I mean.
But we have that, well, we're in the middle of December then, and by the time we set one,
When I have a confirmed,
it's, you know, it's the holidays and.
once I have a confirmed like shutdown, like in terms of.
Well,
on-site
why don't you
work,
send
I
out,
can call out.
send an email out and work with the mayor and the communications people and. You know, maybe you can pick a date. And we can look at it. Yeah, I agree with Jim. I would like to, if we're gonna do something out there, put it in public, it would be nice to kind of coincide it with the fact that the budget's coming out and there's gonna be a rate increase on that. Still doing bills and accounts, gentlemen? Okay. We can jump to correspondence, I guess, then.
So I'm gonna skip to the T-Mobile one for now.
Okay,
Not really much there, I'm just letting you know that we got this letter. That. Okay, I included it for you. Basically, T-Mobile had purchased Sprint in the last couple of years,
yeah,
and they've sent out with the, seems like it took a blanket letter to every one of their landlords. That they're requesting a base rent reset to $2,100 essentially. They're currently at $2,892. I think they sent us out seeing who bites. In the past, we've kind of just responded that we're not interested in a rate.
Reduction.
adjustment. If they were to come back and say they were moving from the site, then I guess that would change the conversation, but. T-Mobile and AT&T are up there now, and that's, so, it's just, it's written to the water department, so I just wanted to mention it. So I'm preparing to just send a letter that we're not interested at this point in time.
that's good.
And Bill and I discussed it, and we're just.
My church has a antenna from Sprint that was purchased by,
Same exactly.
well, no, actually, we got an increase. Well, they took it from one antenna down to 6 antennas or with the 5G capabilities, but because they were adding new equipment, we had the ability to renegotiate, and we basically doubled our rent from T-Mobile. So, yeah, I think it's wise just to say, we're not interested. The I park something for executive session?
Yeah. Go back to that.
So then jump into budget. That's the next thing then,
Yeah, so I sent the first initial draft.
yeah.
And I voted, I know we typically have a separate meeting to discuss, a workshop.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we want to do that again this year, and set the dates for later this month or early December.
Yeah, I think it's better as opposed to sitting there and
Yeah,
trying to
get
go through it in
We can get
a
a more
board meeting, have
tuned down.
another, a workshop meeting.
Possibly have health insurance rates by then, probably not, but it's possible.
So,
So this is the last year of the contract, the union contract, was the last year, of it,
Goes through next year.
so then would be another increase.
well,
Sort of talk about like 370 with PPW, right?
no, the following year. We're set with this coming year with knowing what increases they're getting.
So that'll be 2025.
January 1st, 25.
Yeah. 24, the rates are already set, so we can, it's not an unknown, we know what,
That's in the draft.
right,
I mean, there are pieces in here, at this point, we're kind of just guessing, so hopefully in
Right.
a week or two, we have more information. In terms of health insurance is a big piece, so.
so when are people available for a budget workshop meeting? The
Do you
Wednesdays
want to keep
work,
it on Wednesday?
is there a
Basically,
particular better day for you, Joanne?
So I have a day off. Which I don't think there's anything in December until Christmas.
In November?
No, but I only have my December's Friday off.
so that's
Okay,
how we- 29th to the 6th.
so what,
I'm looking at dates before the next board meeting.
yeah,
Basically,
definitely,
November 29th or December 6th, if it needs to be a Wednesday.
I mean, it doesn't need to be a Wednesday for me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, I just won't be able to get here until, yeah, because I do an after-school program that goes to 4. So I just leave early on, Wednesdays, I try to leave at 3:30
Okay.
and get out today.
So Wednesday is the better day for you because you're leaving a little bit earlier in your schedule on a
Well,
Wednesday?
yeah, I just can leave any day a little bit earlier, I just have to let them know that I'm leaving.
Nate, does it matter to you? Matter to me. So it's okay with Jim, unless he's going to Chicago.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Well,
No, November, they're here in November. so-
Oh, okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Or December 13th.
the 29th? Wednesday, the 29th, does that work? And
Same time, or-
5 o'clock for whenever Joanne can get here,
What is it, 29?
29th,
Yeah.
5 PM. Superintendent's report. I have a quick question on math here. On the accounts,
Okay, good.
so for the year. You're 17 in,
Yeah, that's not right.
okay,
That 5 should be an 8.
or the 8 should be a 5, or there should be 4.
No, the 5 on the bottom, ending balance should be an 8. After the 17 and 8.
Okay, should be 48.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanna bring to everybody's attention, last month I didn't include the third quarter, I should have, but I didn't. You'll see that our difference has dropped below 100 million gallons. So we went from and
Mhm.
a half ago, we were at like, I think it was 52% accounted for, and we're up to.
Counted like
we're
Third.
60s, 70s right now.
less than a third.
Oh, that's that one big leak.
That
Yeah.
was the one down on Beale Street. It was a large part of it, yes.
Because we actually discussed about not including that as a reporting thing because
Yeah,
of
no,
this,
I like it now. It's much
especially
better.
when you compare
Better
from
picture.
the last couple of years,
I've
right?
never seen under 100 million, but I thought I just put it on, had to do it 3 times to make sure those numbers were accurate. And we're continuing to bring down the daily. Like service leaks being repaired, mains being repaired, and stuff. Continuing to drop it.
And we're almost 12 inches above, we are 12, almost 12 inches above, for year to date rainfall. Huh? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the superintendent's report.
Motion.
Second,
I'll second.
those in favor?
Me.
Opposed? Presentation and bills, are we still working on those? Yes?
So it was the
I
big.
wanna see them.
The assistant patroller last month, but
Yeah.
You did.
You do it, 2 minutes down, you gotta do it over. You know what I mean? You do it next week,
No.
next month.
Go to executive session to,
unless you want to do these appointment.
okay,
I think that unless somebody has a question for executive, we had talked about all the prior,
okay, yeah.
we can either do that now or after. But
No, I guess we can
don't
do
have
this.
anything additional to add other than what's written on papers that I sent to you.
Okay, well, the principal account clerk is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, nothing's changing other than permanent.
And what was his,
Same title, same, or the provisional versus permanent.
Oh, okay, so
The
there's,
test was graded and given, that's all. it is.
okay, so it's the same title and same,
Just
same
same
title.
salary, same title, same, just, that's why I put the effective date for 11/8, because it's not changing anything in terms of payroll.
Okay, so you went from provisional to permanent. Okay, so I'll entertain motion to permanently appoint Kevin Gray to the position of principal account clerk at a salary of 66,150.45 yearly effective November 8th, 2023. I guess I can make that motion, could I?
I believe so.
Well, I just guess I've made that motion.
Second.
Okay. Those in favor?
I,
Opposed? And carried.
And the other one was what we had talked about with the restructuring downstairs.
Okay,
I'm recommending Zach Hart for the leader position and Pat Van Wagenen for the assistant foreman.
and that completes all the changes, or is there another change?
No, that would be it.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion.
make the motion.
Because you have the motion that's kind of written out in this memo.
The only thing I will draw up is have the effective date at the beginning of this past payroll, is 11/4.
Effective 11/4/23.
That's its current payroll. So
Okay. I have a motion, I have a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right, carries. We done with bills and accounts? Oh, we have a motion to accept the bills and accounts.
I make the motion.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. motion to go to executive session
Contract.
for contract discussion.
Seconded.
Okay, those in favor? Opposed? Okay, we're in executive session.
Make them.
Seconded.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now out of executive session. Back into regular session.
Make a motion to approve the change order for Schnabel to continue for 66,400.
Second.
Okay, those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, motion to deal with the request from iPark 87.
Make that motion, the motion to refuse their request for a refund.
Have a second?
I'll second
Okay, those in favor?
it. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Thank you. Is there anything else then?
No, that's it.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, folks. So we'll see you